What's up, y'all? It's Cecil West, Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com. Back again with the one and only.
This is Jonathan Libby.
And your lead Bone News Network correspondent.
I am Matthew Weaver.
And this is the question of the week. You know the name, you know the game. We're going to pop out a question. We're going to give you a few answers, and then you're going to give us yours in the comments below. Guys, this week I have a fan question. I love when the fans submit the questions. They're the most fun instead of us sitting here trying to come up with them. And this one is submitted by someone who is no stranger to the question of the week. Eddie Johnson wants to know, on the art of war, if you could extend any of the three Krayzie Bone interludes, Hard Times, Neighborhood Slang, or Blaze It, to a full-length song featuring all the members of Bone, which one would you pick and why?
It's not even a hesitation. No hesitation. It only leads to incarceration. Neighborhood Slang, bro. Neighborhood Slang all day. Can you imagine either way, if Krayzie Bone did the song full length, or if each of the members offered their own take on rolling with that instrumental? I think Layzie Bone would shine on that amazingly. You know, obviously Busy Wood, Wish, Flesh would be interesting as well. But I think Krayzie and Layzie, that instrumental sounded like it was designed for both of them. So I'll take either a full-length Krayzie Bone, Neighborhood Slang, or a group effort. And I want to just throw onto that Neighborhood Slang is in my top 10 favorite things Bone ever did, period.
Wow.
Like, it's in my top 10 greatest things that they've ever done. So
would you have traded out Krayzie Bone's It's All Real solo on the Art of War for a full-length Neighborhood Slang?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. I'll trade anything for a full-length Neighborhood Slang. Like
anything.
You could keep up in the ante, bro. I want the full-length Neighborhood Slang like that. That reigns. The only other thing would be because I got a Mo Murder sequel. So,
do you think though that after that maybe he kept it so short because that song and cadence and everything about that gets boring after?
No, as long as the instrumental continued to build. I mean, it did kind of end on a massive crescendo, but I think it could have also been worked out differently where there's greater build-up periods. And so I just think it's the way that instrumental was designed, but that could have been extended, or it could have blended off into a whole second part. So but I guess less is more. And I think really why it was that short was at the time period, I bet you they weren't sure how the public would take something like that, because it was so different than anything they had done besides Mo Murder from the Mo Thug Family Scriptures album. So I think they're like, let's just give a taste and see what the response is. And I'm not even sure what the response was in 97. And like nowadays, people love that. But in 97, it was a much different appetite for hip hop back then.
Are you also a big fan of the other two interludes? Obviously not as big as Neighborhood Slang, but do you also love those?
Well, I would have, except my roommate in college was learning bass guitar, and so I had to hear him play Hard Times all night, every night. And the bass lines to that are fairly simplistic, and it just got ruined. But I'm glad Krayzie did, and I was happy my roommate was exploring that, getting into Bone. He wasn't really a rap fan, but I liked all the interludes. I'm glad Krayzie did that because it expanded what Bone can do, and I wish they continued doing that exploration. They kind of I think that's what a lot of Bone fans want, is that exploration that they used to do that they don't do quite as often. But Krayzie definitely showed that he was versatile, and it really expanded us to realize how talented Krayzie Bone was on that Art of War album. So I liked all of them. All the interludes are great. And the Buddha song,
Blaze It,
bro. That was one of my first viral videos before the really viral video. So yeah, Blaze It was we used to play Blaze It all the time, man. So Blaze It was a huge hit on my block, but Neighborhood Slang still takes the cake.
Matt Weaver, if you could take Hard Times, Neighborhood Slang, or Blaze It and turn them into full-length songs with the rest of Bone, which one would you pick?
I don't want to answer, but what I always thought is Art of War, or maybe just Bone Thugs in general, they're oftentimes missing a smash hit after, maybe after Days of Our Lives. I think If I Could Teach the World had some potential, or that song they did with Phil Collins. Well, I tried, right? But I don't like that song, so I try not to think about it. But I always thought that Hard Times had everything that you needed to have a massive rap hit. If you just put some verses in there, or who was popular in '97 that they could have worked with that didn't die. And so I always thought that Hard Times had everything that was needed commercially. And a lot of my answers are always focused around how can we get Bone in every house in America. That's my platform, by the way. But my answer isn't too different from John. There was something about Neighborhood Slang that was more than a song. I felt it as much as I heard it, and the subject matter that he was talking about was very empowering, at the same time badass. So I think I wore out the rewind button on my CD player. I remember you couldn't see the backwards button anymore, and I think Neighborhood Slang had a lot to do with that. It was I really think that Art of War, it was probably just time to wrap it up. And he's like, well, I got this. And everyone else probably just said that's going on the album, whether it was done or not. I think if you showed that to anybody that's just too catchy, whether you vibe with it or not about the subject matter, that it's just got to go on the album. And in a way, it's kind of a flex to not finish the song and still put it on an album. I think that you wouldn't ever do nowadays. But definitely my answer is Neighborhood Slang, and Blaze It is not really my kind of song. So I guess if I had to remove one track from Art of War, that might be it.
Well, boys, we must be going for the Sinclair sweep because I'm in full agreement here. I'm not even going to fuck around with the other two tracks. I'm going to go right to it. Neighborhood Slang by the Golden Mile is by far the winner in this situation. With that being said, I actually love Blaze It, and I really love Hard Times as well. These are three of my favorite pieces of the album. But there's something really special about Neighborhood Slang. I don't know if it's that instrumental. I don't know if it's the way Krayzie delivers on it. It's got to be a combination of both. But that instrumental was really unique. Just like Matt said, the amount of rewinds that got was absurd. And I think that it sets up for You Ain't Bone, if I remember correctly. And the way that it drops into the wind, and that wind goes right into the lightning and then right into Busy Bone, just like scathing on You Ain't Bone. It was just too good. It was just too good. It was like, yes, it's its own track, but I literally cannot listen to You Ain't Bone without hearing that first. It's like missing the first part of Days of Our Lives. It makes the album so much better. That would have to be it, because if you think about, John said it, Lazy Bone, I think would be great on that. Not because he would come with the style Krayzie Bone did, but he would almost hit that Lazy Bone off key kind of sound that he does. And I think that it would sound really cool. I think Busy Bone can bless anything. Flesh and Wish, I will say, if it had to be a group thing, I'd like to just keep it to Busy and Lazy. I don't know if Flesh and Wish belong on Neighborhood Slang.
You don't think Wish would get to some real interesting, entertaining notes on some of those parts? Think about we hungry.
Pap. Yeah, it'd be real fucking.
I think we'd get some big time range from Wish on that one.
Wish had some good moments on the Art of War, but any of them are any of them Neighborhood Slang good. I want you to think of his most shining moments of the Art of War and then say one of them makes you feel Neighborhood Slang.
The reason why is that Neighborhood Slang offers so much options, so much opportunity is there for, especially for someone like Wish, because it doesn't, even Krayzie's lyrics are really not that sensible. And so that's where Wishbone gets the shine, because subject matter isn't really important. It's more of the tone that matters. And I think Wish can really get some tones that matched that instrumental and key. I'm just saying.
I want to point out too that out of the three, this is the only one that he does live.
They do Neighborhood Slang live?
Yeah, I've seen Krayzie Bone do it live. Yeah.
Oh my God! Oh, I'm writing a note.
I think he did it too on, if I remember correctly, that little live stream show he did, but I don't remember.
Oh yeah,
100%.
yeah, not Versus. Yeah. What was, I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, no, it was
production company.
Yeah, hey, he was the Live Wire or whatever the fuck it was. He was like the first guy to do one of those streaming concerts, Krayzie Bone. For real.
Let me ask you this though: I've always considered, even though it's a full-length song, in your mind, It's All Real? Do you consider that an interlude as well? I've always partnered It's All Real with Hard Times.
Yeah, they make me feel similar. They make me feel similar. I think your mind thinks that because every time you hear Krayzie Bone by himself, it's a little short song. And then he's got this long one, and your brain's just like, yep, just another Krayzie Bone interlude. That goes on for 4 fucking minutes.
Do you, when you think of It's All Real, do you think of Feenics Ryzin's version of it at all? Because like that's one that's cemented in my head.
When I think of Feenics Ryzin, for whatever reason, I think of her doing Change the World.
Okay.
Playing those pianos and so there's your Feenics Ryzin.
The all original was dope too. I got a question too. So now this is for either of you guys. Do you think anybody would select anything but Neighborhood Slang? Or actually more importantly, do you think anyone's thinking Neighborhood Slang? Are you guys crazy? Do you know of anybody that didn't like Neighborhood Slang back in the days on the boards?
Never heard a single person say. I'll be surprised if the comments are like, ugh, fuck. I skipped that Neighborhood Slang. That piece of shit. Fucking the Art of War up.
I can't wait to thumbs down those people.
Could you imagine someone, yeah, man, the album's pretty good, but I don't know why they got Neighborhood Slang in there destroying shit.
Is just strangely enough, is It's All Real your fourth favorite solo on the album, or is it, where does it rank out of the 4 members that had solos?
Well, I'd love to tell you, John, but we're gonna have to save that for a future question of the week, because right now it's your time to shine. In the comments below, answer Eddie Johnson's question on the Art of War. Which Krayzie Bone interlude would you turn into a full-length song with the rest of Bone, and why? And we will catch you on the next one. Beyond the harmony for the fans we celebrate.